All right, folks, good morning and welcome to the Olimoleague. Got ourselves a pretty good PvP to kick off the day. And once again, a lot of really good players in that bracket. Like 10 out of 10 recommend checking out the bracket. But spawning here to the lower right, we have the red Protoss. It's Billowy.
The top left has the blue Protoss. He is Stats.
Of course, Stats always rocking the Purifier skins. Billowy got with a bit of classic here.
Yeah. The classic just won a big WSG tournament too that no one is paying attention to.
Can we talk about that for a moment? It's not the victory I'm even interested in discussing. It's that rang, dude. It is symbolically really cool and great, but objectively so ugly, right?
Yeah, it's not very pretty. It's very much so like a school ring. Like, I don't know if you saw yours or if your school even had them, but like school rings are always like that bulky, but at least they got like an emerald or something.
Well, so that's what killed me about it. Like they had, it was basically a gold, if you guys didn't see this ring, it was basically like a gold square with an engraving of it, said WESG, and they had like 4 diamonds loosely placed on the sides of it. But honestly, it just looked like a gold tinfoil wrapper kind of shaped into a ring. Like it wasn't very smooth. It was kind of not, it didn't look very well done, frankly. I don't know. I looked at that thing and I'm like, really? I wouldn't wear that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not going to wear it anytime ever. Like even if there was a bring your trophies to this ceremony, like you wouldn't wear it, you would just bring it. But yeah, just bringing up classics. You mentioned classic style. This is Billowy, though, really. And even though he's on his account, Billowy, under his clan that we recognize him as, he has tried changing his name. He officially, I guess, registered at GSL, asked everyone to call him by his real name, actually, which is Dokyung. So maybe doesn't care as much about changing his online. You know, he doesn't care what we say as the English casters that he probably never listens to, but yeah, it was kind of an official name change, I think. It used to be Lure, so he's already done an official name change.
Lure? He changed his name from Lure? Like from Omicron Persei 8?
No, more like, you know, spelled as in a lure that you use when you go fishing.
Oh, a lure.
Yeah.
You're saying it weird.
I think I'm saying it about as appropriately.
I immediately thought of like, I am Lure.
Lure.
Ruler of Omicron Persei 8.
I'm not sure there is that much of a difference.
Well, not important, but okay, that's interesting to know. Billowy might be able to actually pull off a name change like that. I only think this is possible because as sad as it is to say, unless you're like BaseTradeTV and see Billowy on the regular, a lot of people don't know his name. But you have people like Salvation who tried to become, what was it, like Fortitude or something? Or I don't remember what he tried to change his name to. Forte, there you go. But I could never look at him as Forte, like, because he got known as Salvation, so everyone knew him as Salvation. I don't think that's an easy name change. But because Billowy is still kind of flying under the radar, I could see a name change totally be possible.
I don't think Salvation was really well known either, except by us. I think you were the only one that had trouble. Because he wasn't doing particularly well in GSL or SSL.
I'm willing to accept that that may be the case.
Well, Billowy's the same case, and even though he does have his good days, GSL wasn't one of them. I mean, it's been a couple days, so like don't really feel like I need a spoiler alert, but just in case, spoiler alert, he did come out last. So that kind of sucks for him. Took some really good quality photo shoots, though. It was kind of cute.
I would have to see the pictures. I haven't seen them yet. But yeah, if he's like all the other Korean boys, he has a bowl cut and round frame glasses. That's
not all the other Korean guys. No, he doesn't. But he does have glasses.
I'm actually really upset that is the I don't even call them the spectacles look is what's trending. I'm not a fan of that glasses shape.
I don't really think glasses in general trend enough for me to care. Yeah. Yet, I guess. Or maybe I just look past people with glasses and it's like, glasses, 4 eyes.
Don't you also need glasses?
When I drive. Which is the most, most acceptable use of glasses.
So you're 4 eyes half the time. So it's acceptable.
I'm not driving half the time. What the hell?
Okay, an eighth of the time. Half of a half.
Yeah, even less than that. My point was not that I am intentionally looking past. I just maybe that's what I do because I don't notice that trend. I do notice an odd number of bowl haircuts though, and I don't like that. No one ever looks good with one.
It's a trend that's with a lot of the Chinese kids that live in my building and stuff too. Well, I shouldn't say Chinese because they're mostly Chinese, but I'm sure there's others mixed in. But whatever, politically correctness aside, like it is just something we're seeing a lot of. And I'm like, look, I get some of these weird hairstyles, the Viking thing a lot of the men are doing. Like, yeah, okay, I can get that trending. But the bowl haircut's literally like, yo, my mom was too poor to take me to a barber, so she put a bowl on my head. Like, how is that something that catches on and becomes trendy? Although I guess ripped jeans became a thing, so I shouldn't quite. I don't know fashion. I give up.
That's not really similar. I don't know about that. Actual bowl haircuts with no style whatsoever just are always questionable.
Well, speaking of questionable,
I don't know if this is questionable. I think it's actually quite a common attack. I guess it's more likely to be on 1 base than 2 base, but 2 base 4 gate, bringing it back to like late Wings of Liberty when people were expanding but still cheesing.
I feel like shield battery, couple of immortals here. This looks like a pretty solid defense, but granted, Billowy is down in army supply quite a bit. Like he's got far less supply than you would maybe want going into this. But until that patch comes and the stalkers are nerfed, it's hard to say because these are so volatile. They can be so powerful or so bad. In this case, looking like pretty powerful. Takes down one of those immortals right away. Second immortal still standing, but the shield battery wasn't healing it, so the immortal now gone. Advantage for Billowy out the window. He doesn't have blink. He can't keep up with stats, and that micro's keeping a lot of these stalkers alive.
He does almost have charge and +1, and an immortal pops out here to take out a lot more stalkers, but the warp-ins aren't here, I think is his problem now. The gateways were, of course, later than what stats was going for, even though they're still okay times. And this is going to be too much.
Yeah, brute force wins. At the end of the day, numbers are pretty good. Nerds.
Yep.
And Billy's trying to get that last immortal out. He's like desperately chronoing this. But the blink forward to make sure that he can get on top of this. There's the GG. The tap out stats. Takes game number 1. Pretty nice.
All right. Now it's his map choice.
Yeah, and I guess we are on some front page time. So hello, early morning Twitch viewers who don't normally watch StarCraft. The quick TLDR of what's going on. We're casting a Korean StarCraft League. That's really cool. This is a community event. This isn't like a lot of the stuff. Like I'm sure you've casually heard names like GSL and WCS thrown around. This tournament has no big sponsors or corporations behind it. It is completely community funded, completely community run. It's completely based off of a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in that, you can of course check out the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Olimoleague. But this is really like the most grassroots tournament of this scale that has lasted this long too. This is like what, year 4 for the Olimoleague? Or 3.5?
I don't think it's year 4. Yeah, I think it's year 3.
Either way, it's very long running. A lot of these tournaments pop up, they last for about a year, maybe 2 at most, and then disappear along with the sponsors. That's what's kind of cool about this though. Whether it's 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, like the fact that this tournament exists is because the fans want it to happen. So that's always cool to see. And of course, some of the best Koreans really show up for this. Again, we got last year's BlizzCon champion, Rogue. No comment about GSL performance. He's here today. Deer's playing, Innovation's playing, Cure's playing, Stats, obviously we're casting him now. Like, a lot of good players here.
Indeed.
Looks like Black-Pink is going to be the second map. Billowy and Stats ready to go. Let's hop into it. See you guys in game. Welcome back, folks. Game number 2 kicking off. Big thank you to Softcat Monster. First actual sub of the day, but a 4-month resub at that. So thank you very much for coming back to the channel. Top right, we've got the blue Protoss, Billowy.
In the bottom left is the red Protoss. It is Stats.
Up 1-0. Best of 3, what's going on? You guys will always be able to see the score displayed down here. Most of the time, like 99%, well, let's be honest, more like 90% of the time it's accurate. Sometimes I do mess it up, but yeah, if you're ever curious what the score is, if you're just tuning in, you go into the bathroom, coming back, you can always look down here. Also, big thank you to Nervoth, coming back 12 months. That's 1 full year. Golden Part 2 for Versary. Woohoo! I need to get my real one now. Yeah, a quick note for those who do not know, if you've been subbed to the channel for 1 year straight, you will be eligible to get a real-life Partouf. That's the currency we have on the channel, the fake imaginary money. And that Partouf's a real medallion. So send us a message here on the channel, direct message, don't whisper, whispers are disabled, and we'll get you a form to fill out ASAP. Thank you very much.
That's how it works. Okay. We do have, as you said, like a lot of these good players. Hero waits down in the bottom, but who is actually after this? No one I recognize. Bong Sin-hyun. No, I don't know who that is.
You may want to message Olimoleague and see if she'll hold another match.
Well, I don't even know if there's any particularly great matches. That's what I'm looking for now. Also, I don't know if I can message.
What do you mean?
Hold on. Well, I guess you can do it on Skype.
Let's say New Skype is pretty awful, but it should still work. Because I'm looking at this, like, there's the possibility of Armani and Cure. That would obviously be great. Middle of the bracket too. Innovation versus Cloudy might not be so renowned, but be cool to see because Cloudy's like that Chinese player we've had our eyes on. There's a lot of cool people in the bracket for sure. I'm sure you can hunt down one of the matches.
Sure, yeah. That's this match here might not be over soon. I mean, just because Stats took the easy victory game number 1. It was definitely a bit of a cheese, one that Billowy could have prepared for a lot better with more shield batteries. I was not expecting it.
Yeah, actually, it's funny to say, but maybe 2 extra shield batteries could have been the difference in that fight. Yeah, they are quite powerful after all, but really only used defensively, so you won't see too many come down blindly. Probe's still chasing the probe in the middle of the map here. I guess the Adept's looking to get a pickup on this, and then maybe go into the main, maybe go to the natural. I got some more love coming in from the chat, though, just while we wait for things to pick up for all the Adepts. Big thank yous to Zaros, 11 months on that resub, nearly 1 year. Yeah, baby. Battle Knot comes back for 36, though, puts Zaros to shame. And then Black Spike Ken maybe takes a big whack at the Bit Boss. Time to go Blonde Riff. Yep. Totally something that's going to happen. I have actually been thinking, so I've been finding more and more gray, dude, whether it's in my beard or in my like hair on my head, like, and I contemplate like, should I dye my hair? But then I think like guys who dye their hair sometimes look so bad. I don't know, man. Like a girl with a bad dye job looks better than a guy with a good dye job, in my opinion.
Well, okay. Looking at this game though, and Stats did definitely block his own natural.
I was wondering about that on the minimap. I thought I just, for some reason, registered another pylon being down here by default. Way to go, Stats. You know, a lot of time when you hear, whether it's other pros or casters trying to describe, like, what is so good about Stats? What makes him such a great Protoss player? There's not one single thing. He's an all-around great player. And unfortunately, I guess doesn't specialize in building placement.
It's extra odd because Blackpink is one of the maps where, I mean, and you don't notice this, you know, I don't think he noticed it, but actually it tells you where to put the Nexus. It is in the square. So if you put the pylon outside the square, you're fine.
Alright, so he kills the pylon. This is actually really dangerous though. If this ends up being a Protoss versus Protoss match, which by the way typically can happen where you go 3 bases, you just expand, play macro, passive game, then this isn't so bad. But initially, I mean, this is, your reinforcements are so far away, you could actually get cut off between your main and your natural by Billowy's army imposing itself here. There's a lot of big downsides to skipping ahead to this base the way he did. I actually do wonder whether that risk is worth the timing difference of killing the pylon and just waiting.
Very hard to say. Like, I don't know when the pylon came down, but it could have been a severe timing by block.
I like what Stats is doing though. Okay, so the Adepts don't really get in and do much, but with the Oracles threatening, with the Stalkers inside of his base like this, it's kind of implied Billowy won't be moving out soon. Now, I think he will be. He's going for Blank, he's going to Warp Prism, but the idea is if Stats can keep him at home, then he gets to remedy this mistake he made on his side of the field. So getting aggressive is definitely, whether it's soft aggression or hard aggression, like, it's a good thing to do because of the mistake that he made.
Well, Billowy is getting a Warp Prism, and this will be like extra difficult to go into the main base to try and defend if it is a large Warp In. If it's just a Rasp, well, that's where Warp Ins are no problem. Billowy, I would say it's actually going to be more and more of a mistake or a big risk for Protoss players to put their observers in surveillance mode. They are really loud when they go into surveillance mode, and then they're still pretty loud with the constant hum. So that died, and then this isn't going so well for Billowy either.
He tries to blink away, but that's why Stats is kind of walking forward like this, trying to predict the path of those blinks. Now, of course, he doesn't quite have blink himself. It's almost good to go, but not quite. If those oracles came back in, they might be able to snipe off the back stalkers, the ones that are really low.
Oh,
this is clever. If he pulls this off, it's clever. He walks into the trap. Oh! Sick moves out of Stats. Unfortunately, all this really doesn't make up the difference in blink timing, but if he sits on top of these stalkers, oh, there's no blink retreat path if he does it like this. Billowy doesn't see this, of course. Oh.
Okay, the Warp Prism might live, but these stalkers are all very low, and they're gonna blink accidentally into their stasis trap.
This is so sick.
Well, Stats actually just stopped him from doing that, so he wanted the stalkers more than he wanted this trap. Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Okay, the man, the myth, the legend can mess up his Nexus positioning and timing and still pull off sick moves like this. This is why Stats is a good player. When someone asks you this question, you can't think of a precise reason to answer with. You reference this game, because win or lose, Stats, my man.
That was pretty cool. Billowy still has a chance to do a little bit of damage with the Warp Prism, but what was supposed to be a really nice, timely attack, you know, attacking when he has blink but Stats doesn't, is entirely out the window. There's no way he's going to be able to do that. There's actually a very difficult process getting the third base, even though his probe wasn't sniped. Definitely could be. And Stats is already on to his third base. It's done. It's getting probes up by 10.
I guess
not a lot of weaknesses here.
Yeah, his third base is a weird one to reference.
Yeah. Well, Billowy might have the probe still alive, but it looks like he is, like, that might have been a fake. He wanted Stats to see it, to think that he was going to go for a third, but is really just going to continue with an attack like this. I don't think it's going to work, though.
Yeah, Sats has actually got charged, nearly done for the fight. He's got +1 weapons on the way. Not many shield batteries, but this is where the Immortal pops out. If the Immortal pops out, oh, that pylon is almost going to get focused down. All right, charge not down, but the numbers game favors Stats. Very similar to that last time. He focuses down the Immortal. New Warpins coming on that top side, but I don't know. He gets the Warp Prism, so that's the end of the attack. If Stats holds here, he's in such a good spot.
The Immortal wasn't even targeted by Billowy for some time, so finally gets targeted down after the shield pops. But that's going to be it for the attack. Charge done. +1 is almost on the way.
That's it for Billowy. Say goodnight. Stats takes the series 2-0. I gotta wonder what was going through Billowy's mind, because he scouted the misplaced Nexus. He scouted the awkward pylon. And, like, do you get cocky at that point and think, Stats is off his game. I could dick around a little bit. Or do you just be like, man, I can't believe, like, Senpai made such a mistake and he's still so good.
I gotta imagine what he's thinking is, I wish I had prepared something already. Because, like, unfortunately, when you scout mistakes or you scout greed sometimes, like a really fast third base, you're like, well, I actually still can't do anything. I gotta wait for my stim, I gotta wait for my medevacs, I gotta wait for Blink to finish. It might have just been him, well, shucks.
Well, we're going to find out what the next match is in a moment, guys. We don't know what we're hopping into, but again, hello to our new friends on the front page. Hopefully you'll come join us in the channel. Hit that follow button, all that good stuff. We'll see you in a couple of minutes after this commercial break.